Now, I'd like you to meet Tom, sitting next to me just here. He's part of the University of Bristol team, and he has come with the most incredible display box. I think that's the best way of describing it. These are actually moths, aren't they?
Yes, they're all moths. Even the ones that look like butterflies are in fact moths. Yeah.
And look, you can just see them down here. We were talking earlier about iridescent colours and feathers and peacock feathers and the qualities and what it is in terms of the science and the structure of them that makes those colours and makes it shiny. We can see that in these moths just here.
Unlike these moths here, which have pigments in their wings, the iridescence on the hind wings of these moths is caused by diffraction of light, basically. So the scales on the surface of the moth's wings have a similar structure, actually, to feathers of birds. So you might have, they're pretty similar structures. Yeah.
Let's talk through some of these, because with a couple of exceptions, these don't look like the kind of moths that I've seen. So I'm guessing that they're not all native to this country.
No. Only two of them are, actually. There's these two individuals here are both from the UK. This is the UK emperor moth. The others are from around the world. These two are from Madagascar, the Madagascar lunar moth.
They look amazing. I mean, they're like kites, that you might fly in the sky.
Yeah, they are. So they've got quite an interesting structure on their hind wing here. So they've got this really elongated section, and this flutters behind the moth while it's flying. And the twisted back portion here acts as an echo reflector. So these moths are hunted by bats, and the sound which is incident with the back part of this wing is reflected very strongly. And so bats which are hunting the moths are more likely to attack this back portion of the wing here than the body of the moth. So it gives them a second chance, basically. If a bat attacks them, they're quite likely to escape.
Come and look at these moths. You can come and have a look. Come and take a look at what we've got here. And then you might end up on the big screen as well. Okay, so tell us about a couple of the others. What about these really beautiful ones?
So these two at the bottom are both sunset moths. And this is a Madagascar sunset moth.
Your hand is on the big screen. Tell me, what's your name?
Luke.
Are you having a nice time?
Yes.
And who are you here with? Where's your mum and dad?
My sister and my mum and dad.
Have they all just left you now that you've appeared on the big screen? Well, come and sit quietly, and they're just over there. Well, you can stay with us. We're trying to show these on the big screen so that everyone can see them. So you can stay and we can learn about these.
So these are both sunset moths. This is a Madagascar sunset moth, and this, I believe, is a South American sunset moth.
So these are from South America. I mean, these have come a long way. These are pretty cool.
So these were all actually captive reared individuals, and we buy them, rear them in the lab, do experiments with them, and then once we finish, and we pin them and keep them. Yeah.
And so how old might these ones be?
So some of these are from 2014, 2015, but they've been, they only live as adults for a couple of weeks. So.
And do they all share roughly the same kind of anatomy?
Yeah, so I mean, they share their kind of macro anatomy, but as you can see, they're all very different. So some interesting features. This is an atlas moth here, a male atlas moth, and you can see at the front these really feathery antennae. And the males have particularly feathery antennae. So this here is a female. She's got much thinner antennae. And
so is that a way of telling that the male ones have got the really feathery ones, and then the females is just like a little thread, basically?
Yeah, exactly. So the males have more filamenty antennae, and that's to sense pheromones which the females are releasing, so that they have a higher surface area, and it allows them to sense chemicals more.
So are they smelling that? When you say they sense it, how are they telling it's there?
Yeah, so it's a chemical receptor, which we would think of as basically a sense of smell, yeah.
Wow, that is very clever. So how do they primarily communicate?
I guess really through pheromones. So the female's releasing a lot of pheromones, which are very smelly compounds, like perfumes, basically, and the females will sense them. They can't they can't speak or anything.
And just tell us where you are so people can come and see more of this and see what else is going on at the University of Bristol.
We're in tent 11, I think, which
So
is
you're back
over towards
over
the
there.
food.
Okay,
Yeah.
near the food. Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you for coming with this. It is among the most beautiful things we've seen today, and not what you typically think moths look like. I mean, these are especially beautiful, and their designs are just gorgeous. So thank you very much, Tom. Nice to talk to you. Thank you to all of our little team who've been on the big screen. Are you having a good time? Yeah, good. I'm so glad to hear it. Looks like you've been having a splash around in the water as well. Thank you, Tom.